Hi everyone, I'm Francesca Schuler of the California Fitness Alliance, and welcome to another episode of the Faces of California Fitness. This campaign is about introducing everyone to the amazing stories, leaders, managers, coaches, instructors, and entrepreneurs that make up the fitness industry in California. So I'm really excited to be sitting here today with Amelia Hinton, who is a district manager at Chuze Fitness here in Southern California, and who has an amazing story that we're excited to hear about. So welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Tell us your story, like how did you get into fitness and kind of why, and would love to hear it.
I was starting my gym journey probably 2012, 2013, just after I had gotten out of high school. I was playing roller derby. On the playing field, or on the track rather, I was rather small. So I was only like 120 pounds, and I was quick. I had great foot movement, but if someone hit me, I was going flying. I wasn't very strong, and so I needed to put on some weight. And so that's why I started looking at joining a gym. Initially, I had joined 24 and just didn't really work out for me. I found Chuze Fitness in, I think, July of 2013. And so I started working out at this one here in Mission Valley, which is how I ultimately got into working at Chuze. Max, the manager at the time, asked me, I was standing at the front desk talking with some of the employees, and he's like, "Do you work here?" Because he had just transferred to that location. And I was like, "No, I don't work there or work here." And he was like, "Well, you should." And I said, "Okay."
Assumptive close, I think we call that.
Pretty much. He's intense like that. And so I was like, sure, let's do an interview. I had an interview with him and with the district manager at the time, and then I was brought on in May of 2014, and that was the beginning.
And did you ever think at that moment when you said yes to Max that this was going to be your career?
Not at all. In fact, I wanted to be a cop. I had just turned 20 right before I got hired, and I was waiting to turn 20 and a half so I could apply to try and get into the police academy and get in with a law enforcement agency here in San Diego. And I started as a part-time team member, found that I really enjoyed the company, really enjoyed what we do, and moved up from part-time team member to full-time team member to supervisor to AGM. I think I became AGM within the first year and then became a GM at a year and 6 months.
So one of the things that, a lot of us who've joined the fitness industry, there's a lot of misperceptions of the industry, and people say, what do you do at the gym? What are some of the big misperceptions that you get, and how do you address them, or what do you wish people would know about this industry? And when you recruit people, what do you tell them that a lot of people don't know?
So I have two answers to that. The first answer is when people see that I'm wearing a Chuze Fitness shirt or they ask me where I work. The next question is, well, what type of trainer are you? What classes do you teach? And I say, well, I've never been a personal trainer. I've never taught classes. I'm actually in operations. I help to run the gyms. They're like, what? Like, that's not even, the operation side of things is just not something that people think about. But from our perspective in operating gyms, it's a huge deal, The second portion of that is when I've tried to recruit people, they'll say, well, I'm not fit, I don't work out. And it's kind of heart-wrenching because that's not all that we look for, There are so many people, good candidates out there that maybe fitness isn't their first love or passion, but they do love people. Chuze Fitness, and I'm sure you've heard this by now, fitness may be our vehicle, but people come first. That's really central to what we do. So I think those would be the two misconceptions that come up the most.
Yeah, let's talk a little about the people part of it, because I think it's an intimidating industry for people to work in or to just join. To your exact example, a lot of people are like, I'm not in good enough shape to go get in shape, which is such a strange discussion, but we all hear it all the time in our studios and our clubs. How do you help potential members or people that say, I can't get started, I don't know how to do it? How do you help motivate them and inspire them to just take that first step?
Chuze Fitness is a family, right? From our employees to our members, and particularly with fitness services. If someone is unsure of coming into the gym, we'll say, hey, have you thought about taking a group exercise class? I've never taken group exercise. Are there different levels? No, it's actually all levels in one class, and we'll introduce you to the instructor. You're gonna make friends. You'll meet people who come at the same time every day. It'll probably match up with when you come in, and you'll feel more comfortable. You'll have this group behind you rather than you coming into the gym, checking in and trying to do something on your own. Like, you'll have this group of people behind you, so.
Yeah, I love that spirit of community, because people motivate people at the end of the day. The treadmill doesn't motivate anybody. It's the people around you or coaching you.
Well, there's a special group. There's a special group. I don't know how they do it, but.
I don't either. Well, service is obviously a big part of your DNA, because we were chatting before this, you're in the Navy Reserves.
I am.
And would love to hear how your career in fitness has helped you with that. And also, what do you bring from your experience in the Navy Reserves as a leader in the fitness world?
I joined the Navy after being with the company for 3 years. So I left Chuze for about 7 months to do my initial training. And before I left, I was a different type of leader. I was more task-oriented, not so much people-oriented. And after I joined the Navy, it really put into perspective for me that you need to really think about the people that you're in charge of and how you treat them, how you talk to them, and what the end goal is for whatever it is that you're doing. And so when I returned from that initial training, I was really different. And a lot of people noticed that. A lot of people that were on my team before noticed the difference. And I think the biggest thing for me that the Navy has shown me is that it doesn't matter who you are, all of the different types of people that you have on said team. It matters what the mission is and what that end goal is, and working collectively in a unified front to get to that goal. One team, one fight. And that's something that I've tried to carry over. And yes, I'm a leader within operations, but I should be able to work cohesively with marketing, with fitness services, any department, because ultimately we all have one goal, which is to get more people to understand that they have access to be healthier through fitness.
I love that. You had shared before this idea of kind of one mission, and I think that is one of the misperceptions in our industry. There is a quite simple mission for all of us. It's try to get people healthier, get moving and get healthier, and that gets lost in it. It's been a really hard year, 18 months for all of us in this industry. For everybody in the world, this industry in particular has had its very unique set of challenges. What have you found that has help you get through the year, or when you needed to dig deep?
I've always been a really disciplined person, and for the entire last 18 months, I have tried my hardest not to deviate from being the motivator, being the pillar of leadership, and the foundation for everyone, no matter how unstable the rest of their lives has been. So when we first closed, in March of last year, we were doing leadership calls. We were doing Zoom meetings for team members who were part-time, and giving them a safe place to come ask questions about how to do unemployment and things like that. Having the understanding that I needed to do that for my team and for those individuals was the only thing that kept me going. I wouldn't want to let them down, I think essentially is why. Service, yes.
Which I love. So I'm going to ask you some fun questions, just so people get to know you a little bit, because you obviously had an amazing career and you're also serving our country in the Navy Reserve, so thank you for that. But if you had a superpower, which sounds like you have plenty, but if you had to pick a superpower, what would it be?
Probably to be able to teleport, but also to take a buddy.
Right.
Not just me teleport, that's kind of boring. I'd rather be able to take at least one person. Yeah, teleport. Driving takes too long.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like that. But with buddy, I'm with you. By yourself, it doesn't matter. It's why bother?
It's either with a buddy or no superpower.
Okay, got it. What inspires you when you need a little inspiration, or where you've gone to learn how to be a better leader or better team member? Is there anything you'd share that you pass along to others? Not everyone can join the Navy Reserves. That obviously was, a key part of your leadership development, but are there other smaller tips that you'd give us?
It was my first time traveling for Chuze, and I bought a book in an airport. It was a Harvard Business Review book on coaching teams. And that book led me to look into coaching versus managing. And so I wouldn't say that there's a particular person or TED Talk or book, but just in general, as you're looking to be a better leader, look to be a better coach, not a better manager.
That's great. I think that's a great takeaway. I think it is all about being a great coach at the end of the day. So I love that. So if you were to have a week or 4 days, whatever it takes, to drive across the country in a car with someone, live, dead, you can pick anybody, who would you pick?
Definitely by myself. If I could bring one breathing thing, it would be my dog.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a German short-haired pointer.
Oh, that's great. But just a little alone time.
Just alone time.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, for sure. That's great. And then I just thought it'd be helpful to close as you, there's so many people who are looking for a place to work that, or an industry that fits their lifestyle as well. And a lot of people don't think of fitness as a place for a career. How would you encourage someone to look at us for a career industry?
Everyone thinks, oh, it's just a front desk job. I get to read my book or play on my phone, and it's not just that. It comes back to people. When I was a GM, I had two individuals that stick out to me. One of them was going to school to be a nutritionist, and then the other was going to school to be a lawyer. Neither of them planned to stay with our company, which was fine. However, when they did end up leaving, it was as a nutritionist, and it was as a law student with an internship that they earned from a member. So there are so many different benefits to working in the fitness industry. You get to talk to people all day long. How many jobs are you going to move on to where you're going to have to talk to people? Most of them, unless you're just looking at a computer all day. So there are skills that you can get from being in our industry that you just can't get in other places. Particularly, I mean, I'm partial obviously to Chuze Fitness, but the development that we put into our humans doesn't necessarily only relate to our business, it relates to life. So I think it's a really good stepping stone even if you don't plan on being in the fitness industry. Or if you plan on being a cop one day and you end up staying with the company for 7.5 years, that's an option too.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, last question, your favorite workout?
Recently, it's just been like upper body. Upper body, anything. I used to have really small arms and been working to not have that over the last couple of years, and definitely upper body. But like a regular gym bro split is what I do.
Yeah. That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for staying in the fitness industry during this really challenging time. I think we've survived because of leaders like you, so really appreciate everything you do for your members and for our teams collectively, and thanks for sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me the platform. I appreciate it.